Guys, I want you to remember that you can just do geopolitics. Nobody's stopping you. Here's what I mean. Geopolitics is just a way of investigating the world, and it's called can they? Everybody in the world has stuff they want to do, and this could be anybody from the person you're standing in line with at the bank to a nation state. For example, let's say I wanted to be a UFC fighter. Well, that's just a desire that stays in the land of personal fiction if I can't actually do that. Doing anything requires a certain amount of cost. Now, could I strip off this sensible sweater and then go train in the mountains of Dagestan for 2 or 3 years and then just forget my role as a geopolitical analyst? Of course I could, but at what cost? And am I willing to pay the cost for that goal? The answer is no, I don't want to do that, and I look fly as hell in my sweater. So now let's apply this to the nation state. Does a certain nation in an embattled part of the world want to expand their borders 10 times the size of what they currently are? Sure, they want that, but at what cost? The question is, can they? So if we're thinking geopolitically, we have to understand what the cost would actually be to expand your borders 10 times what they currently are. What would it cost in money? What would it cost in resources? What would it cost in human capital? What would it cost in time? So that's the beginning of geopolitical thinking. But if you really want to get crazy with it, you start thinking about your next question, which is, must they? This is where shiz gets crazy. At certain times, governments, institutions, and even people are forced to act well outside of their comfort zone. Maybe my cousin Jimmy reveals that he has some strange tropical disease, and the only way that we can find a cure is by me becoming a UFC fighter. That sounds like a terrible movie, but at that point, I must act well outside of my comfort zone regardless of the cost. I am compelled to do it to save Jimmy. The same is true of nation states. Things like demographic decline or changing energy infrastructure or even existential threats force countries to act well outside of their comfort zone. It forces them to take dramatic action no matter what the cost actually is. Does the US want to control a large section of the Middle East? I could think of a couple of reasons that it would. Can it? At very high cost. Must it? The answer is no. It's not being forced, at least at this point. This is the beginning part of thinking geopolitically. What does that country or leader or person want? Can they accomplish it logistically? And must they accomplish it? Are they being forced? Hit the link in my bio for your free intelligence brief and to save my cousin Jimmy from his rare disease.